Students, we are discussing our second chapter, forest and wildlife resources, in which we discussed about the importance of forest, the microorganisms in our life. Then we discussed about biodiversity. Then we discussed about flora and fauna and different types of species as per the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. That is normal species, rare species, endemic species, vulnerable species, endangered species, and extinct species. Dear students, if you remember in that on that day we discussed about different negative factors which are responsible for the degradation of natural resources. So today we are going to discuss about all those factors. So what are the negative factors that cause such fearful depletion of the flora and fauna? Of the flora and fauna. So what are those factors? Dear students, you know it very well that each and every step towards a development goes through the transformation of nature into better resources. Because to make our life comfortable and to make ourselves developed, we need to extract, modify, and consume the natural resources. We cannot consume the natural resources as they are found in the nature. Rather, we have to modify them, we have to manufacture goods, and these are the reasons why we use all natural resources, be it wood, bark, leaves, rubber, medicines, dyes, food, fuel, fodder, manure, chemical fertilizer, whatever we use. We all take it from nature and we use them for our own benefits. Okay. So this is one major reason how we have to, or why we have to, how we use the natural resources in our own way. Second is, should I write the heading? Okay. We transform the nature. Okay, for our own purpose. Second major reason behind the depletion of flora and fauna is colonial period. Colonial period. Dear students, you know it very well that the Britishers or the Dutch, the Portuguese, the French or the Britons, whosoever came to our country, they came over here for resources and they exploited our resources in all possible ways. To exploit our resources, they expanded railways. It's expansion of railways, agriculture. Then they also expanded commercial, and scientific, forestry, and mining activities. So all these people, they expanded railways, agriculture, commercial and scientific, forestry and mining activities to exploit the resources of our country. Okay. And even after the independence, this expansion of agriculture is also one major reason for depletion of our flora and fauna. Do you know, students, in our country the population is uncontrollable. India has been a land of highly densely populated population in the world, a highly densely populated part of the earth. So, to feed such a huge number of people, we need to bring more and more land under agriculture. And undoubtedly, our forests were cut down to bring more and more land under agriculture. At the same time, to grow more production or to improve the yield per hectare, we had to use a lot of chemical fertilizers, irrigation, and high yielding variety of seeds. That also has resulted in loss of our flora and fauna. Clear? Okay. Number 4. Wrong agricultural practices, or you can simply say shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation or zooming cultivation. Zooming cultivation. It's known by different names. It is also called masole. It's also called roca in Brazil. It's also called bringa, kumari, daya, so many. So this shifting cultivation or zooming cultivation, or it is also called slash and burn agriculture. So due to this practice, which are mainly practiced by the people living in the northeastern and northern part of the country, especially by the tribal people, they slash and burn the vegetation and do agriculture, and after some time they move on to another piece of land once the soil shows the symptoms of losing its fertility. Okay, dear students, here a special point is raised in the book also. Are colonial forest policies to be blamed? Are colonial forest policies to be blamed? Yes, dear students. Colonial forest policy definitely to be blamed, because in colonial period the Britishers or the French or other countries, especially the Britons, they they promoted a few favored species, which was given a special name. It was originally termed as enrichment plantation. What was this enrichment plantation? Actually, this enrichment plantation was given name to this monoculture of certain species. Actually, a single commercially valuable species were extensively grown in the country, and other species which were base for our biodiversity, they were eliminated, they were cut off. So only a few species were grown in place of different species. For example, teak. Teak is a timber wood. It is used in making furniture, but it has vanished the other forest cover of South India. Apart from teak, you can think of cheer pine. These are grown in the hilly areas. These are grown in the northern part of India. So this kind of enrichment plantation has resulted in poor biodiversity of the country. So undoubtedly this is to be blamed. Number 6, large scale development. large scale development projects, rather projects can be written over here. Large scale development projects. Do you know, students, that India, when got independence, had two thoughts in their mind. One was Mahatma Gandhi's thought that production should be done by the masses. On the other side, there was a second thought of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and it was production should be done for the masses. So this Nehruvian philosophy was adopted, and it was decided that production will be done for the masses, and huge developmental plans were established in the country. Right from the independence till date, we are working on that line. So these huge plants are responsible for degrading of land. It can be named like you can say Baksa Tiger Reserve. I hope you have heard this name. Baksa Tiger Reserve. Baksa Tiger Reserve is established in an area where mining is very important issue. Mining of dolomite. Because of mining of dolomite on large scale in the area of Baksa Tiger Reserve, lot of land is degraded. Okay. Apart from it, some more reasons are given over here which are responsible for degradation of land, like multi-purpose river valley projects. Multi-purpose river valley projects, be it Rihand or Narmada Valley project. Especially Narmada Valley project is you can say opposed by the people living in the surrounding area, because the land is inundated, and they are you can say they are compelled to leave that area. There is no space for them. There is no such foolproof planning for the rehabilitation of those people. That's why it has been bone of contention between the government and the tribal people of that area. So many NGOs, so many environmentalists have jumped into the matter or into that issue, like Medha Patekar, Arundhati Roy, or so many other people. They have been opposing the making of Narmada Valley project since so many years. Okay. So dear students, I hope this is sufficient for you. If you like, we can quote some more examples over here. Even the fuel wood collectors can also be responsible, or overgrazing. These can also be held responsible for the degradation of land and soil or vegetation in our country. So these are a few reasons which are responsible for the degradation of land and also you can say flora and fauna in our country. Okay. The Himalayan yew is also quoted over here. The Himalayan yew is in trouble. Himalayan yew is a medicinal plant. It is found in various parts of Himachal Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh. A chemical compound called taxol is extracted from the bark, needles, twigs and roots of the tree, and it has been successfully used to treat some cancers. So this drug has become very important as anti-cancer drug in the world. So it is exploited beyond its repairing or beyond its you can say capacity. That's why this tree yew is in trouble in our country. And so many other trees are there also for medicinal plants, or you can say they have some different kind of other values in our life. They are overexploited, like you can say sandal, etc. Okay.